Nobody told you this when you got your dog. Not the vet. Not the trainer. Not a single YouTube video. And it is probably the most important thing you will ever learn about the animal sleeping 3 feet away from you right now. Your dog has been trying to tell you something. Every single day. In 7 very specific ways. And you have been watching it happen without knowing what you were actually seeing. That changes right now. Here is what most people get completely wrong. They believe love between a human and a dog works the same way love between 2 humans works. That the dog understands the cuddles and the baby voice and the little treats you sneak them when nobody is watching. But your dog's brain is not wired for any of that. It is wired for something far older. Something that was being written into their biology thousands of years before you and your dog ever found each other. And when your dog feels genuinely safe, genuinely bonded, genuinely certain that you are their person, it does not show up in their bark or their tail or their cute little head tilt. It shows up in 7 behaviors so quiet, so ordinary, so easy to miss that most owners go their entire lives never realizing what they were watching. Let's go through all 7 right now. The first one happens every time your dog walks toward you, and most people never notice the difference between a dog who is coming over because they have to and a dog who is coming over because they want to. Watch this next time. Not when you have called their name. Not when there is food nearby. Just an ordinary moment. You sit down. Your dog notices from across the room. And they decide on their own to come to you. Now watch exactly how their body moves when they do it. A dog who has not fully settled their trust in someone moves carefully. The steps are deliberate. The body stays slightly compact. There is a kind of quiet calculation in the way they approach, like they are checking as they go. But a dog who is completely certain about you, their whole rear end gets involved. Not just the tail wagging, but the entire back half of their body swinging with it. The head is loose. The steps have a bounce to them. Some dogs produce this full body ripple that starts at the shoulders and travels all the way through to the tip of the tail. Animal behavior scientists have a name for this. They call it loose body language. And what it represents is a nervous system that has made a decision about you. Every muscle in your dog's body is broadcasting the same signal at once. There is no danger here. I do not need to be careful here. This is mine. Dogs do not move like this with everyone. They cannot fake it. That looseness is a biological conclusion your dog reached after thousands of small moments with you added up inside their nervous system. If your dog brings their whole body when they come to you unprompted, you are looking at proof. The second sign is so small that most people completely skip past it, and it might actually be the most powerful one on this entire list. You are outside. Your dog is off doing dog things. Nose buried in the grass. Completely absorbed. You have not made a sound. And then, with zero prompting from you at all, they stop what they are doing and look back. Not a long stare. Just a quick glance. Just enough to confirm you are still there. And then straight back to whatever they were doing. Developmental psychologists were the first to study this behavior in human infants. A toddler placed in an unfamiliar room will explore, but only as long as they can glance back and see their caregiver. The moment that anchor disappears, exploration stops. The child moves toward the exit. They become distressed. The caregiver is not just background comfort. They are the reason the child feels free to explore in the first place. Researchers studying canine attachment later discovered that dogs do this exact same thing, and critically, they do it specifically with the person they are most bonded to. Not with strangers. Not with other dogs. With you. So every time your dog glances back to find you during a walk or at the park, they are not just checking in. They are telling you something they have no other way to say. You are how they feel brave. You are the reason they feel free. As long as they can find you, their world is okay. The third sign happens while your dog is asleep, and if you have ever watched your dog twitch, or heard them make little sounds in their sleep, or seen their paws moving like they are running somewhere in a dream, you have seen a dog in deep sleep. Here is what that actually means. Deep sleep is the state of total vulnerability. Every single protective instinct goes offline. Awareness disappears. The body is completely defenseless. And your dog chose to go there while you were nearby. This is not a small thing when you understand where your dog comes from. Thousands of years of evolution built a brain that treats deep sleep as dangerous, because in the world your dog's ancestors lived in, that was exactly what it was. The part of your dog's brain responsible for survival has not forgotten that. Even in the safest home, even with the softest bed and the slowest days, that ancient awareness never fully disappears. Which means choosing to fall into genuine deep sleep near another living being is an act of profound biological trust. Your dog has learned through every quiet, ordinary, uneventful moment with you that nothing bad happens when their guard is down. That this place, near this person, is the one place in the world where staying alert is unnecessary. Pay attention to how your dog sleeps when you are near versus when they are alone in another room or somewhere unfamiliar. The difference in depth is visible if you look for it. That complete softness in their body while they sleep near you is not just tiredness. It is evidence that safety for your dog has a very specific address. And that address is you. The fourth one happens so quietly that most people barely register it. You are standing somewhere ordinary. The kitchen, the hallway, wherever. Your dog is not doing anything in particular. And then they walk over and press the side of their body against your leg. Not jumping, not asking for food, not reacting to anything, just leaning. And most people reach down, give a quick pat, and go right back to what they were doing. But stop there for a second, because what just happened in that moment is something worth actually feeling. In canine social behavior, deliberate, unprompted physical contact that happens with no external trigger, no excitement, no food in the vicinity, is one of the clearest expressions of genuine social bonding that exists between dogs and the people they live with. Your dog's nervous system, completely at rest on an ordinary afternoon, decided on its own to close the space between you. Not because something was wrong, not because they needed anything, just because being against you is where they feel most settled. Think about that. Their body, left completely to its own instincts, gravitates toward you. That quiet lean is not a small moment. It is your dog's nervous system voting with its weight. The fifth sign is something you can test tonight, and the result might genuinely surprise you. Wait until your dog is relaxed and looking in your direction. Then yawn. A slow, full, completely deliberate yawn. And watch what your dog does next. For decades, scientists believed that contagious yawning, catching someone else's yawn and doing one yourself, was something that only happened between humans, and only as a marker of deep social empathy. The research consistently showed that the more empathetic a person was, the more likely they were to catch a yawn from someone around them. Then researchers started looking at dogs. What they found was that dogs do in fact yawn in response to human yawns, but the effect was dramatically stronger when the human doing the yawning was the dog's own owner. With strangers, it barely happened. With the person the dog was most bonded to, it was measurably, consistently real. Your dog is not just in the same room as you. They are tuned into your body at a frequency deep enough that an unconscious, involuntary signal from you, something you did not even mean to communicate, triggers a matching response in them. If your dog yawns back at you tonight, that is not a coincidence. That is your bond documented. The sixth sign is one almost every owner has seen and almost none of them have fully understood. You walk in the door. Your dog completely loses their mind. The spinning and the noise and the full celebration of your existence. All of it. But that is not the sign. The sign is what happens about 60 seconds after that. Once the wave of excitement starts to settle, watch where your dog goes and what their body does when they get there. Do they find a spot near you and simply stop? Do they let out one of those long, slow exhales, the kind that seems to come from somewhere deep, and then go genuinely still? That exhale is not tiredness after excitement. That is a nervous system completing a physiological transition. Research into how dogs respond to being alone has shown that separation from their bonded person elevates cortisol, which is the primary stress hormone, sometimes for hours. The quiet of the house is not neutral for your dog. Your absence is something their body registers and responds to. So when you return, what happens is not just emotional. It is biological. Cortisol drops. Heart rate slows. The body transitions back to its resting state. And here is the part that tells you everything about the bond specifically. The speed of that transition is directly tied to how securely attached your dog is to you. A dog with a strong, settled bond calms fast. Not because they are less excitable, but because their nervous system has no uncertainty about what your return means. The source of their safety is back. Everything is fine. The exhale is not a small sound. It is the sound of your dog's body believing you again. The seventh sign is the one that stops most people completely when they finally understand what they are looking at. Something startles your dog. A loud noise. An unfamiliar person at the door. Something their instincts cannot immediately place. And in that moment of alarm, where does your dog look? Not at the thing that startled them. At your face. They are reading you. The tension around your eyes. The set of your jaw. Whether your breathing shifted. They are gathering information from the one source their brain has learned to trust above everything else before they decide how to respond. If your expression stays calm, their alarm begins to dial down. If your face carries tension, they escalate. This behavior has been documented across multiple research studies, and it appears specifically with the person the dog is most bonded to. Not with strangers. Not with other animals. With you. But here is the thing that makes this the most powerful sign on this list. This was never trained. Nobody taught your dog to look at your face when something frightened them. They arrived at it entirely on their own, built from every single moment where something felt uncertain and you were there and everything turned out to be okay. Your dog did not just bond with you the way an animal bonds with someone who feeds it. They built a case for you, observation by observation, moment by moment. And in the moments that matter most, when the world feels genuinely threatening and every instinct in them is firing, they do not look at the threat. They look at you, because somewhere in all those accumulated moments, your dog reached a conclusion that no one taught them and no one could have forced. You are not just the person they live with. You are the answer. If you watched this and kept thinking about your own dog, that recognition is real. You have not been imagining it. You have just been missing the language. And now you know what to look for.